Welcome back to the 28-day animation challenge. After having brought a flour sack to life with personality, which was, no easy feat, we're going to the next level. From this point on, we'll be using full-body characters, and what better way to warm up to animations with full-body characters than a posing challenge? Besides, we could probably use a bit of a breather after, that last personality animation, am I right? So today, in day 7 of the 28-day animation challenge, we'll be posing Thor in 5 very cool poses. Yes! Why Thor? Aside from comic book poses just being awesome, the next few challenges may have something to do about that. So let's get to it.
What are you asking me to do?
In case you missed the last posing challenge with Avatar, here's how this works. You're gonna have 5 minutes per pose for 5 poses. That's 25 minutes of posing practice that's timed. And the timer is really important because it pushes you to make the big decisions quickly and get the poses close to what it should be very fast without getting caught up in details. Great habit to have. To get set up, first you're gonna grab the Thor rig and the hammer if you're gonna use that. Next, you'll find 5 Thor poses just by going to Google and typing that out, or you can follow mine on screen. Third, you'll open your animation software, drop in the rig, source the pose images as an image sequence on an image plane. That way you have that in the scene with you. And then lastly, you're gonna make selection sets for your rig, hide any extra controllers, make a ground plane, set up the reference on a layer, things like that, so you can quickly select what you need and to be ready to go. Now you're all set up and it's posing time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. First pose. Here we go. I like to typically start with that cog and really think about that line of the action inside the torso. See if I can grab these controllers and kind of rough something out. He's kind of got that lean back going on here. And get most of the lean there, actually. Reduce it here, and then the pelvis is more kind of twisted this way. It's twisted here. Let's try to split the difference between these controllers. He's got his chest twisted here, and his neck and head kind of come down a lot. And then we'll pretend there's like a rock for his foot to stand on. Open that leg up a bit. Seems like it's a little bit more forward than the other leg. And this one's kind of turned like this, probably a little further back. And then this arm, I think I'm just gonna swap it to FK for the moment. The rig does have a IK FK switch, and the picker makes it really fast, but I'm just gonna kind of do it manually since we're just doing a pose test, pose challenge here. Now this should still be constrained. Yep, we can rotate this. Get what we're after. It's not the axe, but it works just fine. It's kind of our main camera here. Bring its weight down. It's got more bend in his legs, right? Along these lines is closer. And where'd that elbow go? Right there. Whoops. Lost our textures, which seems to happen, at least for me in this Maya version. Or maybe it's just a common rig thing with this. Since the hammer is not as long as the axe, you know, I'm just kind of making this section up a little bit in terms of what the other hand is doing. Maybe I extend it out some more. Should pin this forearm down to only rotate in Y instead of all rotations, because that's not what a forearm does anatomically. It's nice to have the freedom to be able to change it, but I don't like it by default. And then make sure we consider these shoulders here. Pelvis is going to be tilted a bit. And there's our timer. So save your keyframe everything, and then save your file. I just took a second to put the textures back on him.
It's like a pirate had a baby with an angel.
That way we can see him clear. So let's go to the next pose. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So I'm gonna twist him this way. His back is similar. He's kind of angled that direction from us. I think these legs will be better in FK for this one. So I'm gonna do that. And I made sure my selection set has the FK for the legs as well as the IK, which is going to be really handy when we're making these swaps and keying everything. So it should have keyed everything, both FK and IK, when I hit the all select. Here he's kind of just trying to get that leg, doing the same thing. Probably gonna lift him up overall. Yeah. Let's lift him up like so. We're gonna bend the pelvis forward some, and this, you know, he's got this lower back is kind of forward more, and then this is bent back further. And he's still kind of looking down like this. It's going to be a very common Thor thing, I think. And then here we're going to bring this back. Let's see what's better here. Let's do 5-axis. So here we got hammer back. Like so. Again, I'm just going to try to rough this. That arm looks pretty busted when you bring the shoulder back. Shoulder joint gets a little wacky on the FK. Probably make a layer for all these hammer controls here. Close to what we're after. So I guess this knee's driving a bit more. Really tucking back more. Line of action here. Push that curl. Sure I'm reaching those shoulders back. Really don't like what's happening here with the shoulder. But we don't have a lot of time to screw around with it. We could pose that out better, you know, if this was our animation, really get the hand contact on there. We'd probably even have it parented there, and I don't think that this shoulder would do that with the IK controller, because this one seems fine. Maybe we... in the elbow a bit more. Yeah. Let me try that real quick. Oh, there's our time. So never mind. I'll leave that there. It was a fun pose though. So save everything. Stop working on the pose. It's all about that timing. And then move to the next one. And hey, by the way, if you've been following along through all of these animation challenges, you're learning a lot, you're having a great time, and you're very serious about becoming a professional animator, you should unlock Pro Mode if you haven't heard about that already. You'll get harder animation challenges that build off of the ones that you have here, so that you can become a pro faster. That's only available though to the animators who are serious and decided to unlock it. It's free to do so though, so no excuses, no worries. Just go to unlockpromode.com. In the meantime though, you can check out some of the awesome animations and poses that have been made from animators in Pro Mode right now, just to tease you. The Pro Mode community has really been amazing in terms of the critiques that are going out there, the really detailed critiques, just the encouragement, the support, and even the tech questions. All that stuff is being solved every day with animators that are constantly working on these animations and trying to improve. And it's been an amazing habit to watch them all build and consistently stick to for weeks at a time. And that's really going to pay off for them in the long run. They're going to really make the most of this challenge and end up with some really impressive animation level ups by the time we're all done. And ready, set, go. Thor doing the classic thing here. He's going to be on the ground, so I'm going to swap the feet back on this pose to IK. Zero that out. Classic Thor raising the hammer for the heavens, call down the lightning. It's a great way for us to get used to the character. No foot roll there. Let's bring him down. Nice twist to the chest, angled body. clear out this rotation, which actually hasn't been getting saved up until this point. Just a quick select problem. When this is done, I'll probably go back and just re-add this arm in there to kind of match what we did for those other poses, so it's saved. Yeah, it was just keying those other channels. That's what happened when I keyed it. I didn't key everything. Kind of like this, kind of. Standing tall. Weight's probably back a bit. I think this foot is further forward. It feels a little further back. They're pretty close. It's probably out front a little bit more. That. He's got maybe like a little bit wider stance here because it's a power stance. And that's our time on this one, so save everything. And hopefully like it is saving everything unlike it was for me. So I'm gonna save this one too, save the Miocene and save my pose. And then let's get ready for the next one.
Because that's what heroes do.
Ready, set, go. This should be a fun one. So just key everything here. Once again, I'm gonna go FK on the feet, which were kind of already where we needed them to be. That's convenient. And the hammer and stuff is kind of where we need them to be. I'm gonna, just for the sake of this pose though, I'm really gonna turn the character kind of like the picture rather than, you know, trying to set up a different camera location and have a different camera. So we can keep this free form. Should be over here. Lady Thor. Previewing the upcoming, little teasing the upcoming movie with this pose. I think this pose works for Thor himself though too, because I've seen him like fly this way before. I remember poses like this where it's like hammer first and like driving with the hammer into the sky, which is kind of cool. Makes me think of Superman with the one fist. Bring this back. This you know, if we were animating this pose, it could be a cool moment to really foreshorten this pose and so we're gonna have to do some extra foreshorten this arm and hammer coming to this the camera. I'm gonna pose the hand and then move the hammer, I think, separately, just for the sake of speed and trying to get the everything in the right spot. So then here, if I grab this controller, I can kind of fake that the hand is on the strap. Something like that. Looking at the hammer there. This arm is almost in the same spot, which is kind of funny. Some slight variations there though. And then get some more twist here, I think. Be nice if we get that curl on the side. That's really huge, actually. Spent a lot of time on the arm, and I really need to get this curl working here. I think this is more like that too, to help reinforce that line of action. I can push this back, and then I could even take this leg and help push that. We could have this one. This is where it would really help to have that camera view on the side, and maybe that's too much for this leg. Maybe seeing that's weird, kind of. Something like this. Yeah, I think the twist of the pelvis is more countering that chest like it usually does in dynamic poses. We got something kind of like this here. Oh, that's all the time we had on this one. This one was interesting. I like this one. So I'll save that and save this pose. And we're gonna go into the final one.
We're not finished yet.
Let's make it count. 3, 2, 1, go. And he's back on the ground. So IKFK swap there, boom. And then let's, I think, zero all that out. It's kind of like on this leg here, weights down, spun this direction. His foot's here, knees a bit out of whack. This leg's kind of seems like it's, yeah, it must be pointing this way because the knee is here. So the knee is a good guide for where the toes are probably pointing if you can't see those things. I'm just gonna use the foot bank here and probably some foot roll, because that's how that leg is so, how that foot and that leg is like so turned to kind of be in this position. It's like that's further back probably, and then seems like his hip is here. this. Within that leg further back. And maybe no foot roll there. I gotta have some. Get that bend. And then bring that down some. And then pelvis is like so. Our angle of the character is kind of like, line of action is kind of like this. And then he's twisting a lot to reach with the hammer. Hammer back here. Winding the hammer up to throw, so he's got almost like a baseball wind up. If we had the time, we could get in on maybe more of that hammer spinning bit and have it look like he's holding onto the strap. Maybe I'll do like I just did though and kind of fake this being here. So we can kind of have the same idea. Not that it's super important. You know, the most important thing is our pose for the character. Kind of like that. Have a lot on the shoulder. Help reach that back. He's kind of got a bend here. And that elbow is this. And this is reaching out, very much a baseball pose. You can see the back. You would see the back if he doesn't have that cape there. Pretty cool. And then I'm just going to quickly kind of grab these. Yeah, we do this. And then deselect, select. And then let's just open those up with one controller. Oh, that's our time. I wanted to get some more time for this pose. Head's even a bit off, but you know, I think we got the rest of it there pretty close. We try to make this a little less broken. The shoulder's doing a little bit too much work there for the, you know, for the chest. If we had that extra time, just took longer than expected. But I think this is a fun pose, and I think all of them were pretty interesting. It's always cool to do a new character, new rig, and then at the same time look at cool art based off that character to see how dynamic you can make your poses. So this was a blast. I'll save this and rebuild those poses where the hammer didn't get saved and the arm didn't get saved just because something didn't get copied correctly in the selection sets. But overall, fun times, and we did get the poses in there on screen, and this has really warmed us up to this character rig that we're going to be using more of in the next few challenges. I hope you had as much fun as I did with this Thor posing challenge. Now click or tap the screen for more animation lessons, and I will see you in the next animation challenge. Happy animating.